If there's anything that's more of a cesspool than video game discussions online, it's online politics.
Oh yeah.
All right.
What's worse graphics too?
Yeah. Last week we didn't talk about the Elden Ring trailer because there's just so much.
We did talk about Elden Ring, but
Recently.
not the trailer.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, I mean, this is the DLC, right?
Yeah. Shadow of the Edge.
You guys both beat Elden Ring, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I did not.
It's
I
worth
should-
beating.
It is. Yeah.
It's worth it.
Did you? But you didn't. You still didn't do.
Melania?
Yeah.
No, I still didn't beat Melania.
He still didn't even go into.
You know what's funny? I couldn't find her.
Nicola's.
There's some people
Yeah.
that only beat Millennia.
Yeah, I thought I actually thought she was the final boss, and I couldn't. I went to the Haligtree area where she is, and I
Yeah.
couldn't find her at all. I was like navigating, and I'm like, I'm tired of being in Ice
You
World.
didn't? Did you have the two stone token thingies? The two halves of the tokens.
I
You-
had the one
you-
for the big
You
elevator.
probably had to go through the guide. It's kind of hard to.
Yeah,
find.
I hate guides. I don't do guides. I mean, I can if I have to, but
No.
like
Bobby's
I feel
that
like
guy.
there's
I'm that
two types of
like I like tutorial levels we discussed last time.
Yeah.
So I like it when the game.
Yeah,
tells me.
what the
I
hell?
don't even mind it. I'm just like, yo, don't make me
Sure.
look up another thing. Just do it.
There's two types of From Software players. There's the ones that are like, I don't want to look at anything. I just want to discover it. And then there's the people who have like a whole fucking Excel spreadsheet on what kind of build they want.
Yeah.
And I'm like I just want to go with the flow. But as I start to play it, I'm like, fuck, I should have really followed a build or something.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Like
It's
usually
a spectrum. It's a
It's
spectrum.
a spectrum.
It's
It's a
not
spectrum.
a two type of player.
it's
thing.
valid approach.
No,
It's
no,
that spectrum.
it's black and white.
It's an open world. That's why
You
it's
either
so
use
open.
guides or you don't.
Yeah, okay.
It's wherever
There's
you
no
find
in between.
yourself in this open
Okay,
world.
the DLC. What do you think of it? Are you excited?
It looks fucking nuts. It
It
looks
does.
sick. Actually, we talked about this a little bit last time, but there's like
Yeah.
whatever 10, 12, whatever new weapon types
Yeah.
and stuff like that.
So say.
That's
which
pretty
is
cool.
crazy.
That is
That's
crazy. That's
like
a
10
lot.
different types. Like there's the dude like kicking.
Yeah.
So that's an armor type, like some type
Yeah.
of kicking martial arts stuff. We don't know what that's gonna be.
Oh, nice.
No
Um,
idea.
Elden Gaiden.
And then there's like a shield sword, where he's. Did you see that? If you
What?
watched the trailer, you saw it. But it's like the. I don't know how to describe. You gotta just watch the trailer. But it's like
Shield
a shield sword.
Is the shield at the
Sick.
end of the sword, or is it like the sword's at the end of the shield?
Like Gundam
I
Mercury.
don't think having the shield at the end of the sword would make any sense at all.
Mobile Suit Mercury.
No, that'd be cool.
Venus.
Like you want from a distance to like block something, you got the shield at the end of the sword. You know, it's perfect.
This is why Zach doesn't design weapons.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't make it as a medieval
In all
blacksmith.
fairness, after playing Tears of the Kingdom, though, these
Yeah.
sorts of thoughts cross your mind.
That's
'Cause
true.
You confuse
actually,
anything together.
Just fusing things.
Who was I
also.
watching?
Like a shield
that-
spear is actually really
I
good.
think it was you. Wasn't it you? That like was like, I wonder what would happen if I put this bomb on this sword or whatever, and then you swung it and exploded and you died. And you were like,
Was
yeah.
that me?
Was that you or
That,
was
that
that?
sounds like me.
or-
honestly.
that sounds like you. I
That's-
think
Yeah.
that was you.
I feel like that's been all of us.
Yeah,
We should
that's
try it.
true.
I tried it.
You try different things.
I've done some stupid stuff, man,
Yeah.
with bombs and
You're like, I just want to see what happens if I swing this bomb 2 feet away from
Yeah.
myself.
Exactly. Yeah.
Did you play Breath of the Wild, Kurt?
Yeah, I didn't finish it though.
Did you finish it though?
Yeah.
Did Breath of the Wild have slow motion, like when you're jumping off?
Mhm.
Like, okay, yeah. So yeah, and
Well, like when you're mostly when you're aiming.
Yeah, when you're aiming,
Yeah,
yeah,
you
yeah.
like you jump off and you aim the arrow. I have killed myself with bomb flowers in that situation so many times it's ridiculous. Because I always think I'm gonna slow mo and then I want to like launch like the Bob Auckland party into the water or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
And yeah, I just keep killing
Perfect
myself.
pronunciation of that monster too.
Babka?
Bob Auckland.
Yeah.
Babka?
Bob
No, yeah,
I don't
I've
know.
done similar stuff.
Blackgoblin. Okay, sorry.
Bob.
Anyway, so
Bravakin.
Elden Ring.
Yeah.
Elden Ring.
But it's because they left. So I think Melania. So I'm telling you all this lore that you have no idea about.
Yeah,
but it's
yeah.
so fucking good.
Millennia. I know about her.
You know her obviously. So every time she dies, she's like, Melania, Blade of Mikola.
Already
Like, I'm the
lost
Blade
me.
of Mikola, yeah. So she has a little. No, well, not. She has a brother. Then it's not a little.
Yeah.
Brother, but he's little because the only reason I was gonna say little is because he's eternally young.
Okay.
That's his curse.
Oh, okay.
And then her curse is she's like rotting because I was gonna go
She's
into all this
forever
lore.
old.
Do we want to get into the lore? Okay, so she's infected
time.
by this
Yeah.
other god, outer gods. The Elden Ring is about these outer gods. There's like 9 or something, 9 or 11. Whoa. What was
Oh,
that?
whoa.
What was I saying again? Whoa.
2001
But there's a bunch of
The
gods.
Elden Ring.
Millennia
outer
can't melt
gods.
steel beams.
Yeah. and she's infected by this rot as a child.
Okay.
Since she was a child, and then
Yeah.
that's why parts of her body are replaced by these, like, it's gold, so it's unalloyed gold that was made by her brother Mikola. It's such a, I'm trying to like spark notes it, but it really doesn't work to spark notes and
Yeah.
stuff because
Yeah.
it's just
You
so
want to
much
dive deep
there.
into the lore.
The point is, Mikola has been really like hinted and was probably gonna be in the original game, and you can see in the like the dev files and stuff like that when they mine it that he was gonna be in there probably, we think. And then there's even, so I don't know if you remember like Saint Trina's sword and Saint Trina's lily. So they put characters to sleep. That's the special
Yeah, I
thing.
remember
So
that,
Saint,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
So actually, that's apparently Mikola's, like an alter ego. Maybe we know it's obviously
Yeah.
we don't really, very vague,
Yeah.
but he would go and pretend to be Saint Trina maybe sometimes. But anyway, regardless, he's
Okay.
known as like or at least Melania, who's obviously very strong, thinks he's like the strongest Empyrean, like one of the strongest,
Damn.
right? But
He's
and
Son
then
Gohan.
when you
Oh,
fought,
okay.
Yeah.
you fought Moog, obviously.
Yeah. Yeah.
So Moog, remember the big egg
Yeah.
and the arm that comes out the egg?
Yeah.
That's Mikola. I don't know. If
Yeah.
you knew
I remember
Yeah,
that.
you-
I remember
you knew
this.
that.
Yeah, yeah.
Nikola Tesla.
You know, it's so funny because like when you play Elden Ring on easy mode, and you just use Sword of Night and Flame. I just like Kamehameha everyone to death.
Yeah.
And like the game moves so much faster, like especially in the later game because you're just so jacked.
Yeah.
So like I remember this, but I remember I beat Moog in literally 3
Moog was
attacks.
pretty easy by the time I got there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
But
ma-
I remember
that's the
Mikula.
mage build?
And I looked up the Vadi video on it too.
yeah,
Yeah.
Vadi. Go check
How
out.
about which one? Which one?
Mikula and Melania. Both
Yeah,
of them.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the-
So, but apparently the DLC, because at first, before all the trailer and all this stuff came out, you'd assume like, oh, Mikola's maybe the boss you fight, and he still might be.
yeah.
But from all the YouTubers, VadiVidia and Ashen Hollow, and one's called Mad Luigi or something. So there's like dozens of
Really?
of Dark
That's
Souls,
not
Elden
canon.
Ring. Yeah.
Mad Luigi.
That dissect something like
Slightly perturbed Luigi.
that. Yeah.
Because there's that scene in Elden Ring where the guy's like, madness will take the world. And it ends up being Luigi at the end. Could you imagine that?
yeah, yeah. Exactly.
It was the madness with the yellow eyes, right? And the
Yo, you Frenzied Flame?
frenzy. Yeah, the
Yeah.
frenzy will overtake the world. Okay.
Yeah. But it turns out Mikola, from what we can tell from them dissecting all the stuff from the trailer and all, it's like Mikola might actually be on your side, maybe not really on your side, but he might have given you Torrent intentionally, like because he there's lots in the lore saying that Torrent originally was Mikola's, suggesting,
Interesting.
right? And then. And I don't know. I don't want to go into all of it, but there's suggestion maybe that Mikola's been kind of orchestrating your journey this whole time.
The
and
man
then-
behind the curtain.
And then so that new character that we haven't heard anything about, which they kind of probably just made
Yeah.
from scratch, but maybe kind of drew some stuff from the regular game was what's his name? You saw like the main guy with the red
Ted
Yeah.
Cruz.
the snake and stuff. I
Yeah.
forgot his name. He's the Impaler. I forgot
yeah.
his name. Give me a second.
Vlad.
here.
Yeah. Vlad the
Elden
Impaler, I
Ring.
definitely
Vlad,
know.
yeah.
The heavy metal band Impaler, I remember.
Well, if you didn't know what Elden Ring was about, now you picked up all that from that conversation.
yeah.
Um,
And so we learned that Mikola was the original seeder of the torrent file.
exactly.
As well. So
yes.
really that's
yeah.
So he's
So-
going to be probably the protagonist of the second
I'd
game.
say so. Yeah.
Yeah.
When they locate the proper
Yeah.
torrent
When
download.
you fight the cracked queen, that's a big
Crack Queen. Yeah.
that's a big moment in
There
the
you go.
DLC.
Yeah.
Mesmer.
Mesmer.
That's his
Mesmer.
name. Mesmer.
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 But so we're pretty sure he's one of Marika's kids again. So all these bosses, a lot of them are Marika's kids from different spouses and stuff. So we're
Chillin'.
guessing
Who's
Mesmer.
Marika?
Oh God.
Okay. All right.
Queen
So-
Marika to you,
so
man.
Is she like
Yeah.
a god?
So
That's all you
she's
have
like-
to say. A god or
yeah,
no
so
god?
so
all
like
right, we're good.
okay.
No, I'm just kidding.
That's okay. I love this shit.
No,
I love
tell
this
me
shit.
more.
Tell me
I
the
actually
show,
do like the lore.
So with Elden Ring, like the whole golden order, all that stuff, like the main, like the tree is golden.
Yeah,
and all
yeah,
that stuff?
yeah.
So that's actually like an outer god that came. I might not get all this totally correct. So, but this is just
Yeah.
what I remember
Yeah.
off the top of my head.
Elden Ring fake news, dude.
So those
Yeah.
trees you saw, the golden ones.
Well, the
That's-
big main one,
yeah, that's true. Yeah.
the one of the outer gods came from, I guess we assume space. I guess.
Yeah.
Right? And then I don't know if it infected the tree or is the tree. I can't remember, but. And then Marika, so that's like the god that's kind of running this era of that we're in.
Yeah.
And then Marika's kind of like for lack of a better, I'm just gonna simplify it and say like she's like the Jesus,
I see.
basically like the embodiment. But she existed before that. She was a Newman, which we don't know much about that race, but they were like you haven't got to this part, but remember the invisible assassin guys?
Yeah.
They're right.
Yeah.
They go invisible sometimes, and
Yeah.
they like slink around, and then they like sometimes they like. Grab
Oh
you
yeah,
and, like,
those guys were the
like,
worst.
Stab you.
Yeah.
And shit,
Oh
they go
yeah.
invisible.
Classic.
Yeah.
Mm.
So those are Newmans. So
Okay.
Marika, I
Interesting.
think, if I'm getting this right, I think was a Newman
Mm.
before, and then she was chosen to be like the Jesus character for the Golden Order, or whatever. And then, like I said, there's like 8 or 9 or 10 or whatever other outer gods that have influences in the world,
Yeah.
but are not the like main dominating force, I guess. So like for example, like I was saying, Melania has that rot, the scarlet rot, that comes from an outer god. Like that's a whole outer god. That's related to an outer god. And then Moog that's I forgot what they call it, like something of the mother or something. So all his moves, all the blood stuff, that's another outer god. So when he like reaches through this portal and pulls the blood out and like and
Yeah.
that's
The move.
apparently he's like reaching into the body of the mother or something.
Sick.
Yeah. So there's and then the Crucible Knights and
Yes,
stuff.
I remember. Dude, those guys were ridiculous.
They're
I
sick.
beat maybe like three of them. Is my audio even? Yeah, I beat like 3 of them, and like they were like sorry, and then I beat like 3 of them, and then like they were like harder than some of the actual boss battles in the game.
There's gonna be more. Yeah, they're really good. But there's gonna be more Crucible Knight stuff.
Jesus.
Oh, and then also Miyazaki, which not the Miyazaki that you're thinking, but
Yeah, yeah.
Miyazaki that made Elden Ring. I know.
Yeah.
It's because they collabed with George R. R. Martin on the first one, so the second one is gonna Princess Mononoke is
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now they're
is gonna.
Did
be,
you guys know George R. R. Martin wrote? I actually think that whole thing with George R. R. Martin was like mostly them just marketing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
You know
think
what
so
I mean?
as
I
well.
think so
Like,
too.
I don't know. He might have wrote a little bit with the.
Or he might
the
have like
whole-
looked at the lore and
Yeah,
been
you
like,
know.
"Yep, that looks pretty cool."
But Miyazaki
Yeah.
like knows what he's doing. Like he knows what he's doing with his lore.
Yeah.
But anyway, the Crucible Knights, but that's another god, and then they were
Miyazaki.
they were part of the dominant era before the Golden Order
Yeah.
came and shit. I don't know. All that shit's just sick. But anyway, so
Yeah.
Marika's basically the Jesus character, and then I guess you haven't heard of Radagon, have you?
Radagast.
Okay.
Oh, you
that's
didn't get to
fine.
Radagon? Did you get to Radagon?
Oh,
you're-
yeah, I
you're
did.
talking
Actually,
about, you're talking about
that's-
Radon. That's
Oh,
Radon.
sorry,
Oh,
Radon,
Radon. I got to
Oh,
Radon.
yeah, Radon.
That's where I stopped.
Okay,
Actually,
so-
was
so-
Radon.
How do I spark notes this? It's only because I like talking about this stuff, but I don't know if anybody cares about it. If you haven't played the game, none of this is interesting
Yeah.
to you. But that's
We
okay.
might have just spoiled it, but you won't even. There's
you
no
won't.
way.
You just
You
refer to
won't,
them
you
to the
won't.
lore video, like Vadi video.
Yeah, yeah.
They're the best lore videos.
I think you covered
'Cause it
quite a bit
goes so
of like
deep,
good
too.
shit.
I
Because
think
we
we
can
can-
just keep deep
I think we can move on.
delving.
Yeah,
We can
yeah.
move on.
But like,
We-
it's just like that level of depth
That
to
is.
the lore
It
It's
is.
so
is
good.
insane.
That is the
is
per-
it your favorite Souls game personally, Elden Ring? Because people say either Bloodborne or like Elden
That
Ring.
one, yeah.
A
I
lot
really
of people,
like
a lot of
3.
people say Dark Souls 1
Okay.
because
Yeah.
all of the lore. So like, okay, so Dark Souls 1 laid the groundwork, obviously, for all of Dark Souls, and then Dark Souls 2 was like another thing. It's like in another dimension that kind of doesn't really relate too much. Apparently, like it doesn't have too. But then Dark Souls 3 brings it back as like. I guess it's like they're kind of vague about this stuff, but it's an
Yeah.
echo of the first one, but things are different. But it's as if, because in the first one, at the end, you kind of get the choice to like extend the age, and most people probably extended that age, which
Right.
is, and it's a weird kind of melancholic, like, are you supposed to do that, or is that kind
Yeah.
of
Fire's
fuck?
weak.
Yeah, and then I guess 3, in some ways, you could think of it as like the cycle repeated. But it's been repeating for so fucking long or something like that. I don't know how you want to interpret it. That
Okay.
things are getting even weirder, but it's echoing the first game, but things are even weirder. There's more
Interesting.
stuff going on. Kind of like like in Ava, how the,
Yeah.
the rebuild.
Isn't Elden Ring a whole new?
Elden
thing?
Ring's completely different. Yeah.
Really?
Elden Ring's not even
Yeah.
yeah,
Oh,
totally new different
what a shame.
universe, yeah. But
Yeah.
Do you think there will be a Dark Souls 4?
I don't know.
I doubt.
Because at this point now, just like Elden Ring is.
yeah, Elden
Yeah.
Elden Ring reached way more people.
You know, I have to say,
But,
like,
yeah.
especially
I love Elden Ring,
playing
though.
Tears of the Kingdom, it's like I really appreciate franchises that just start from scratch, like Final Fantasy or
Mhm.
like
Yeah.
all the From Software games. Like,
Mhm.
it's
Yeah.
like really, it really like increases your motivation to push through, and it feels a lot more like a complete work of art.
Yeah.
Like I'm really enjoying Tears of the Kingdom, as I've said so many times, but like I'm just like, oh, I wonder if we're gonna save the princess. Like,
yeah.
what is the nature of this game? Like, I mean, I'm sure it's like great, but like, I'm just not invested in the story because
Yeah.
it's like that. And I know a lot of people do not like care
The
about
thing about
that.
Zelda too is like these ones are especially not as much about the story.
Yeah,
They kind of have a story threaded through, but it's like
yeah. The story's a bonus.
it's kind of about like the experiences you have, like just like Elden Ring, I guess. Yeah,
It's
That
about
is really
fusing
cool.
a bomb to your
it
sword.
is cool. Yeah, it's a different approach
Like
to
to be like you're because this is what you're saying, I think, right? It's like it's Final Fantasy because we're calling it that,
yeah.
Yeah,
but literally everything about it could be
Oh
completely different.
yeah,
Yes.
you mean like every
Yes.
game? Yeah,
Yeah, like
okay,
every
I see
game
what
you
you
can
mean.
Except
yeah,
there's
yeah.
chocobos.
Or yeah, Zelda does do
yeah.
that. as
There's
well.
always a chocobo.
There's
You gotta
there's
ride
like
chocobo.
certain
That
staples
echo- yeah,
that
yeah,
have to
yeah.
like show up. Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't
Okay,
wait
get
for the
what you mean.
BDSM Final Fantasy where the chocobo
Yeah.
chokes you, and then the chocobone. I'm ready for that mini game.
Hey.
So down.
Bobby does comedy.
There you
Final
go.
Fantasy XXX
Square Enix, take note.
2050. Let's do
Yeah.
it.
Oh yeah, okay. That's why I wrote Final Fantasy 7. I remember because I was trying to play the first one again.
It's
I was trying to-
Final Fantasy VII remake,
Yeah, not the original,
Yeah.
not PS1, but
or like you just said Final Fantasy. That could be
or Final Fantasy 7. Sorry, Final
Yeah,
Fantasy
yeah.
7 remake. Sorry, I was
no, all good.
But
yeah.
it's just it just feels like a lot of filler. Like, and I'm not that far
Yeah.
still, but like I know it's because I know what was it, Jessie or whatever.
Yeah.
Like we went to her hometown, and now we have to go grab the bombs we have to steal the bombs
Steal
from
the
the
bombs.
factory from her hometown because she ran out of bombs or some shit.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I just know this was not in the first game, so it feels like filler.
Yeah.
But it's also
Well-
not. But I shouldn't look at it that way because like I know what a lot of people say is like it builds. There's more depth in the game.
Yeah.
Like now Jesse's like a full character.
That's
you
the
can,
thing.
like, you know,
That's
which is
what I
cool.
was
Which is
thinking.
like I like that. I like that.
Yeah, I don't know if that part's necessarily filler. I think maybe
Was it in the first one?
No, like here's the thing. The thing about
play
Avalanche
the
in the original one is you don't get to know them that well,
Yeah.
and they die so
You
unceremoniously.
That's a spoiler. I didn't know that.
Well,
It's been however many
yeah,
years.
sorry,
Damn,
man.
yeah.
That was a
Yeah.
20-year game.
man.
Oh, should we talk about the spoiler of what happens in
There's more than
Rebirth?
20 years. Of what?
Rebirth? Remember we talked about that? We could talk about that too, because I know it because I'm not gonna play. Rebirth for a long
I don't know if
time.
we should spoil that.
We could say skip this part.
Yeah,
we
we
can
would
talk
just like
about-
wave our arms. Hey,
Yeah.
we're gonna talk about the
Spoilers.
end of Final Fantasy VII Rebirth,
Well, like who's
a game we haven't played.
Yeah, it's a remake. I mean, come on, what spoilers are you gonna? I mean, I
It's
guess
not
it's
really-
new.
Okay. So
There's some controversy.
So,
out of
in the first, I guess spoilers for the PS1 version, which I didn't play, but I obviously know the legend of. I watched the whole thing of how
Aerith
the story-
dies.
Yeah, Aerith dies. You knew that.
Yeah,
Everyone
Did
is
you
like
know
a
that?
not invested.
one of the most
Like, I'll
famous
forget.
scenes in
And,
like
deaths in video games.
yeah,
is Aerith dying.
this flower girl
Is
dies.
it like
Yeah.
Gurren Lagann moment. in the
yeah,
game?
kind of.
Okay.
Yeah, actually,
Yeah.
in a way, in a way,
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's kind
you
of
could say
sudden,
that.
and you're like, oh, whoa.
Sick.
Because she's like the main character's love interest.
One of
for
them, yeah.
One of them, but like they want you to like Aerith.
Yeah.
I keep thinking Aerith because they used to call her Aerith,
Yeah,
but it's
yeah.
Aerith, but it's Japanese. Anyway,
Paris
Um,
Hilton moment of the video game.
Yeah, yes,
Bobby does comedy.
Bobby does comedy.
Yeah, sorry.
So anyway, so they're hinting in the first remake that there's potential timeline changes and multiverse. Like maybe
Yeah.
she might live this time because that's one of the like for this entire time of the. First of all, we didn't even think they were gonna ever remake it, right? Because it's such a fucking we love this game, but like how often does this happen for them to remake? They remake Final Fantasy games, but not like this.
yeah,
Right? And then they're like, well, that legendary moment, maybe they have a chance to like, and they even hint that they might change that moment, that maybe she'll live this time. Like, what would happen? And then here comes the spoilers. You can skip this part if you don't want to listen to it, but I'm gonna talk about it because why not? It's a bar podcast. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
But so apparently, instead of changing it or not, instead of like they give you even stronger hints of like there's multiverses and stuff, and there's all these like ways that she
Yeah.
could have lived and stuff. But then like you have to like go on Google and check like, did she actually die at the end? They're like, no, she's dead. They just wanted to let you know that they thought about all the different ways that she could have lived,
Yeah.
but like she's dead though.
So that's
Yeah.
the piss off of like.
She didn't have to.
I mean-
we did it.
Mind
yeah,
you,
yeah. That's
yeah.
what it feels
No.
like.
Yeah,
That's what
yeah,
it feels like.
exactly.
We could have saved her.
But I didn't play the game.
Totally
Neither of us
decided
have played the game. Maybe
No,
it's done really
maybe it's
well,
different.
But literally the entire internet is saying what we're saying.
But remake, the only part that really pissed me off was there's these ghosts that show up to make sure the timeline is like
Different. Is it?
or they're like pivotal moments of like how this is supposed to go in the timeline, but the ghosts change it. Like some characters live because of this. And at the end, like he said, like they're kind of hinting like Zach might be alive and Aerith is maybe she lives. And then this one, they're like, no, she still dies. But like you said, like we could have done it. But it's like, why did you introduce this entire ghost thing about destiny and making sure things happened a certain way or that they could change, and then you just do it the same way? It's like, why didn't you just remake the game how it was?
Without the ghost.
Without the ghosts, you didn't need this extra shit. You could have just been like, "Here's Final Fantasy VII. It looks fucking HD now, and we added to it. Here you go." But now it's like, no, let's introduce this thing where it's literally personified destiny. You fight destiny at the end of remake, and
Jesus.
it just like why?
I wish they had behind the scenes videos that
Yeah.
weren't made by the companies.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
Like someone else was
So they
documenting
can
them.
actually be a bit
And
more.
yeah, you could see like, oh no, that team was just not
Yeah.
really. We contracted that out. That was that actually they got confused. They thought it was fighting,
Yeah.
Destiny, a new character that we developed, and
Yeah,
that was
exactly.
not that got mixed with the fan
Oh my-
service department, and that we don't know. It was
I
animated
want
already.
that documentary.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I want that like actual what happened.
Yeah.
That'd be great.
But again, to
Yeah.
be fair, we didn't actually play it.
Didn't play it.
Maybe
yet,
when
so.
I
I
play
will
it,
play it.
It'll be like amazing.
And I think you should stick to it because, like, there's actual filler in that
It's
game.
been like fun so far. It's just weird that
they're
like
trying to
my
flesh out the
brain-
world. I think.
Yeah, I know.
But there's real filler in that game where it's like, go find my cat, and it's like, okay, this doesn't add to the story.
I
But
did that one.
but
I found
yeah,
all the
yeah.
cats.
But then there's other ones where it's like, yeah, it has to do like Jessie, who's this character that was from the original, but you don't really get to know her very well. So they do a really good job of fleshing that out. Also, one of the characters in Avalanche, the bigger guy, what's his name? Is it
Barrett?
Briggs or something? Or,
The
what's
like,
his name?
chubby guy with the
yeah. His voice actor is the guy from Breaking Bad. There's Skinny Pete and the other guy, Badger.
Oh yeah,
This
Badger.
Badger is the voice of this character, and
Oh.
you'll be playing. You're like, what the fuck's the guy from
I went Japanese
Breaking
voice
Bad?
acting.
Oh, I should
I'm-
probably try that.
I'm a purist.
Wow.
No,
Yeah.
no,
You know what? The English voice actors were pretty good.
Pretty
Actually,
good. Yeah, I've heard. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes I don't mind like the dub. Like I don't
Yeah.
know. Like the famous example of like a terrible one is the Final Fantasy X. Ha ha ha.
Yeah,
ha,
yeah.
ha.
That was the first Final Fantasy to have voice acting, though.
Yeah.
But
Mhm.
they went really hard on making
They
it
were-
awful.
I really, the only Final Fantasy game I really like played in depth and invested a lot of myself into was Final Fantasy 15. I really liked it, and
Yeah, you.
that's like my big game that people don't like that I like.
It's a fun game. It's just my problem with it is just that it's like they took a story plot and they just stapled together all these ideas, and they're
Yeah.
like, we'll just not figure out how to make this all work cohesively as a story. Or you have to watch a whole anime and play this
Yeah.
other thing to get the whole story, and it's
Yeah.
like,
It's duct taped together.
can you just give me the story? But like as a whole, like the core story, and like there's some cool moments, even story wise, that like characters have things that happen to them that are like irreparable
Yeah.
and shit like that. I'm like, damn, like that. Those are cool, and like seeing their, like just camping out and having those
Yeah,
interactions as like
camping.
a crew of friends, like that's cool.
Yeah.
And like the
A
driving
slice
around,
of life.
the slice of life aspects of 15 were cool.
Yeah.
But
You like pushing that car.
yeah,
with
right.
your friends.
Yeah, I love pushing that car.
The boy band thing really did it for me.
Yeah.
Really enjoyed
You
it.
and the bros.
Nailed it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
cast characters, slaying some monsters with the bros.
Yeah, basically.
I also only paid like $20 for it. And I
Yeah,
also,
fair.
that was after a lot of the updates, so a lot of the stuff was fixed. But apparently, like
Yeah.
now they have the Windows version, which is like fully fixed. And
Mm-hmm.
still has a lot of plot holes apparently, but
I'm sure, yeah. Also, you can see it's kind of the precursor to what 7 Remake, the fighting system,
Yeah.
became. Because, like, they're like, there's something cool there, but it's kind of a mess still.
yeah,
Whereas the one they implemented in FF7 Remake, like, you can tell they honed it in and, like, simplified it a bit, too, in some regards to make it like it's the old Final Fantasy VII battle system, but also, like, rejuvenated.
yeah. They tried.
yeah.
I've read a lot that they tried to make the FF7 remake a lot like Final Fantasy 12, like the battle
Yeah.
system.
And in
Gambit
some ways
system.
it is.
Yeah.
Final Fantasy 7?
Yeah,
I could see it in
Interesting.
some ways, but also like I don't know.
It's
Yeah, they
different.
try
I
to make it
don't- I
more
don't have no idea.
action based because like 12 was completely like I've already set it up and they're gonna go do this.
yeah.
You're not really pressing any buttons to fight,
Yes.
mind you. Like I feel like in remake you're just pressing like one button
Yeah, it's buttons and then
and
menus.
then yeah, mashing and then menus. Yeah,
Yeah, but still fun. It's
still fun, still very fun. There's still strategy to it, which is great.
I really wanted to play. Is it 16 the new?
Yeah, I want
I
to play
really
that one
want to
too.
play 16
That
too.
one looks
yeah.
so good.
That one's not even an RPG anymore though. This is like action,
That's why.
which
Yeah,
is fine.
straight up
I'm down
action
to
game.
try that. Yeah.
I hope they go back to RPG though, like
Yeah.
just because there's so
I think
many
they
action
are.
games.
I mean, with this clearly, but
yeah, yeah,
17. I can't believe we're gonna
But-
be on 17.
Yeah,
yeah.
but you know what? It's like I still like.
Fun. It's so funny. It's called Final Fantasy.
Yeah,
so it never
yeah.
ends.
The
Just
final.
Yeah.
The fight.
It was
final
their last-
they should rename it Continuing Fantasy.
Yeah.
Just like yeah.
It was their last hurrah because they're like we might go bankrupt after this.
Yeah.
So like here we go, Final Fantasy. And
16?
no, just the original Final Fantasy.
Oh.
So like
Might
we're-
happen again. Square Enix is not doing well.
Yeah, really?
Yeah,
I'm
they
sure
have-
they're doing fine now, but you know what? Where I see Square Enix going wrong is they start taking like outside IPs like Marvel,
yeah.
and it's like you're Square Enix, you have no business with Marvel.
But I feel like they had to.
why?
Well, no, I'm just saying because like we were saying how they aren't doing well. Maybe.
Yeah.
But that
Cash
game
money.
did abysmally. Like they handled it so poorly.
Was that
Yeah.
Midnight Suns?
No, it
Midnight
was
Suns.
Was it the
it was
Avengers
the
one?
Avengers
The
game.
Avengers,
It was like
yeah.
a force. It was like a service game. What do you call it? A
Oh,
live service?
live
Yeah.
service game for Marvel. It's like, dude, just make Spider-Man 2, but Marvel
Yeah.
Avengers, or make God of War, but Marvel Avengers. I don't want to pay for like I'm not logging in every week for Marvel's Avengers. It's
Yeah.
not.
The only like live service game I ever liked was Overwatch. Apart from that,
Yeah.
I don't like any. I mean, I guess Team Fortress 2.
Overwatch was good.
but
Yeah.
I don't know if that even counts as a live service, but yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But I don't know. I think the whole model is like crazy. I mean, I
Yeah, it's
apparently
stupid.
like Destiny 2 isn't so bad. Like, once you're like engaged in it.
Destiny 2.
Do we want to talk about Destiny 2?
No,
Are we
I
talking about
hate that
Destiny 2?
game. No, I'm just
No.
kidding. I don't mind it.
No, I was like, nah.
Nah, I don't play. Well, I mean, it's up to you. I actually downloaded it and I played the intro. And I'm like, I hate this, and I uninstalled it.
Yeah,
It
it's
seems like a grind.
it's only fun if you have your buddies together, and then it's kind of like a first-person shooter escape room. Kind
Oh.
of.
I
Do you know what I
get
mean?
that.
Like
Wait.
that's
I
that's
get
why
that.
it's
That
fun.
makes sense.
Because
Yeah.
it's like that's the part of it that's fun to me,
Yes.
right? Like
An
we-
escape room. I've never heard it described this
yeah,
way.
you know why? Because everybody has a role.
Yeah.
And you basically this is the cool part about Destiny. If you ever want to grind through the hours and hours of getting to end game, because they do the kind of it's like World of Warcraft. You got to grind till your max levels so you can do the dungeons, which are the cool shit like the raids and stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, so you go in, you start the raid, whatever one. There's one on every planet, whatever. You kind of have to pay for them, but we'll put that aside for now. So there's a lot of paywalls with Destiny. But there's free stuff too. Anyway, so like let's say that you just
Okay.
land on a planet with your. It's got to be 6 guys. So you need 6 guys to do these raids. And then there's just stuff happening, and you have to just figure out how to like progress. Right, so there'll be a room, and then they're like a boss. Well, these are usually the end, but this is the funnest part. Where there's like a boss, and then he has a shield, and you can't kill him. And then there's dudes coming and trying to kill you at the same time, right? But then
Yeah.
there's these pillars. There's these like glowing pillars, and then in front of them there's these platforms. And then when you step on the platform, one of the pillars glows, but it may not be the one that you're stepping on. And then you know what I mean? Like it's like a puzzle. Like
I
there's all
see,
these things,
okay.
and then like maybe if I kill, but then they won't glow unless you kill one of the glowing bad guys. You know, like I'm making this up, but it's like that. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like or what is this? Is like this glowing thing that kind of has the same mark as that, and then this bad guy comes in that kind of looks like the thing that's glowing. You know what I mean? Like there's all these puzzles, and then you watch these videos because we don't even figure it out. We're not those guys. That's how complicated these are. Where you have to
Yeah.
go watch a YouTube video. And they explain like, hey, you're going to need 2 runners that are going to go back and forth clearing these guys. Well, this guy's shooting the boss, and then this guy's doing the marker things. He's carrying this ball from this area to this area. Then this guy's to kill these guys, collect these things, and bring. You know what I mean? Like, there's everyone has a job, so it's fun when you're all coordinated, like doing the thing.
Interesting.
You
It's
know
like
what I mean?
Overcooked with space guns.
Yeah, it is. It's very much like that, but like even obviously way more complicated. And then, but that's the fun of it is like you're doing your job.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And then the
Like
boss, you're getting the boss. You're seeing the
That
Sounds
health bar
cool.
go down.
Yeah.
Yeah,
like
but
when
it
you-
just takes a lot to get there. That's the problem.
I see.
And then the gear is cool. And then obviously the looter shooter part's kind of fun. Like, ooh, like a gold drop, like a legendary drop.
Yeah.
Ooh.
That's
But
true. Yeah.
It's kind of faded for me. That doesn't really get me hyped. It's more like I like playing with my friends when we have those
Yeah.
scenarios.
I like Friends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm like, I could have a similar fun time playing. Well, I was gonna say like League of Legends or something. But that's different.
You know, loot in games really doesn't like unless it's like Elden Ring or like Zelda, where it's like some sort of lore behind the weapon or something. Like it just
Yeah.
doesn't do it for me anymore. Like I hate loot. Like,
Yeah.
Well,
I'm
you
so
know what?
tired of all this loot.
It's so
You know what
much.
that
Stop
reminds
giving me
of,
loot.
Too many items.
Like, what about when it's in a roguelike or roguelite type of game, like Dead Cells, and you get like a legendary that has like really good specs on it that like combos with your stuff.
For me, not really. I mean, it has to be of the play style I want to play. Like, because
Yeah,
what I'll
if
do
it
is,
is.
like, I would rather like get to my play style and then be able to level that thing up rather
Yeah.
than like find different weapons and like it's cool. I love Dead Cells and like it's
Yeah,
it's
Dead
what
Cells is fun.
like what Dead Cells is doing is the correct approach because Dead Cells is awesome. But
Whatever
like,
Dead Cells do is great.
yeah, I just like
Zelda-
I like to choose how I play.
Like Tears of the Kingdom is all about just collecting so much crap.
Yeah, there's so much crap to collect. I'm just like I hate having to cycle through weapons. Now I have like
It is kind of annoying. I wish they figured out a way to streamline kind of because you have to go in your menu a lot to pick things out and stuff.
Yeah.
I wish there was a better way.
I feel like that is a good point though, in the sense of I think a lot of players, including the only reason I say it is because you're saying it and I'm saying it. So a lot of players.
yeah,
Well, two's a lot.
Two's a
yeah.
lot.
the
Yeah.
important players,
Yeah,
smart
there
players.
you go.
Because I like okay, for one, I like the idea of legendary weapons, of course, right? That are like really
Yeah.
cool, like the like you said, the lore and
Yeah,
stuff. Like I
yeah.
love that, but I also hate when like there's a play style or a certain weapon that I'm using for a while, and you're just like, well, this weapon's just better
Yeah,
because it's legendary. So
Yeah.
I'm like, there's no real point now in using what I was using before, even though I really like it. But it's like it's like you get a Sword of Night and Flame.
yeah.
And you're kind of like, well, I really like using the katana, but like, if I wanted to win, I should just use the Sword of Night and Flame.
Yeah.
Like that, I get what you're saying in that sense. Whereas it'd be cooler if I could level up my katana
Yeah.
and make it at least as good, or just don't have Sword of Night and Flame is so cheap. Obviously,
Yeah.
balance it better.
We could all use
But-
a sword at night and flame in our life.
We could all use. I agree
Yeah.
with that.
Yeah,
entirely,
yeah.
Sort of.
But
Sometimes
then you just use it all the time.
You
Then
know?
what? Then life would
Sometimes-
have.
What
no
if you
challenge.
want a katana?
you got a bulldoze. Sometimes you just want to swing some fire around your head.
Yeah.
You know. That's why actually I like class-based shooters so much. I love Overwatch. I love Team Fortress because it's like your play style is your character, and then the fun comes from just being adept at that and having. a
And
role
like
in it,
also like combining your efforts.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
what I was saying. Is like you
combining efforts,
should
dynamic.
play League of
Yeah.
Legends because.
Yes.
Are we gonna get to the League of Legends talk that I could talk about for a while? But the game of League of Legends itself, I don't know about now. I haven't played it in years. But the idea of a MOBA
Yeah.
in that battle, like the four corner or like the map and all that stuff, like Dota and all those games.
Yeah.
The games themselves, I love the idea of them. Like they're great. Like I just love
Solid
that.
idea.
It's just the people screaming at you online.
But it becomes toxic because of how like you're literally watching some. It's like driving. You're
Yeah.
watching someone make decisions in real time, and they're moving kind of slowly. So it's like
Yeah.
you can. They have time to make better decisions, but you're just watching them like, what are you doing? You're gonna walk all the way. You're going all the way. You're still going. You didn't even think you could go this way. You're going all the okay. Fucking idiot. Like you're like it's that type of stuff where you're like you're
Yeah.
watching them do stuff and you're like, this guy is so stupid. Like, what are you doing? And then that's why you're like flaming them. Like, dude, what are you?
I get really bad. Like sometimes, like when I'm in restaurants, I'll like eat the burrito in the middle. or like I'll eat the banana in the middle because just I know it's gonna make someone so upset.
Yeah.
A little weird.
Yeah, just stand a little weird.
Does that bother you?
Or just stand the wrong way in the elevator. Yeah, I have those.
But whereas like at least in Overwatch or some other games like Halo or something like a first person to Counter Strike, it's like okay, well he's just bad. Like his skill level is not good enough. And there's parts of that in League of Legends, like those games where it's like, yes, it's a skill level thing. Like, okay, he's getting beat and it sucks because it's dragging your whole team down.
Yeah.
But sometimes it is literally like it's a decision-making thing,
Yeah.
right? Whereas like Overwatch, it's that too. But sometimes it's like, okay, he's just better. Like their hit scan is better than ours.
Yeah.
Or something. It's like there's a skill, like literal like reaction time. There's a 16-year-old that's in COD.
Yeah.
Right? He's sweaty. There's a sweaty kid.
Yeah, there's always a sweaty kid.
But anyway, we're at that age now, right?
Yeah.
We're at that where all the memes are like, I just want to play a game
Yeah.
after work.
After you get off a long like day of work and like some
We're
13-year-old
talking
just
Street Fighter.
teabagging you. Yeah, yeah. Talk about a game I had to delete for a couple days.
It's Zach's week off, and he's like, I can't have Street Fighter.
It's
Not
just
for this
it's too addicting and too painful.
Yeah.
But okay, is it? It's the
I'm getting
game.
better,
It's
though.
probably, the answer is probably both. But is it like the game itself, or are you also addicted to the ranking of like?
Oh, it's that I'm
Yeah.
stubborn as fuck, and then I'll be doing really good.
No,
and
but those games do that too. Like
They
Bobby
do.
had that with Overwatch too.
Yeah.
I had that with League.
you start ranking up a bit, and then you just fall from grace for a little bit, and you're like, no, I have to get back up to where I was, but then you even fall a bit more, and you get back, and then you're
It's
doing
gambling.
this back and
It's
forth,
just gambling.
and then suddenly you are exactly where you were when you started the night.
Yep.
It's like, why couldn't I just stop after the 6th win? I could have
Please play
just stopped.
responsibly.
I was doing great, but no, I'm on a roll, like a gambler mentality. Yeah,
It's just gambling. It's
and
literally
then you
gambling.
go and exactly, you just fall.
I love the video games that include the warnings, like, hey, remember every 2 hours, just take a break.
Yeah,
Every
yeah,
20
yeah.
minutes, just really don't. And then like
Yeah.
Metal Gear Solid 4 took it further.
They
It said
did, yeah.
Smoking is bad for your health.
That's right. Yeah,
That loading screen was one of
they
my
had the
favorite
best
things.
loading screens in that one
It
for
was a
sure.
great loading screen, yeah.
Or even the intro was like you could get a different intro to the game, because it was like these different channels.
Yeah.
And they were like fake, like one was a fake interview with Hideo Kojima, and one was like this random CGI thing, or it was just like
That
a.
is very Metal Gear.
It was so
Yeah.
Metal Gear, like depending on your playthrough, it could be an entire different sequence of intros, which was cool. That's just some Kojima shit he would do, but
It's Metal Gear Solid, baby.
he's either doing something genius or he's in his head's up his own ass. But
It's the first Strand like.
The first
Strand
Strand
like game, yeah.
Have
yeah.
you guys seen the trailer for DS2?
I did, yeah.
Jesus
Looks like
Christ.
more DS2 or more DS.
The electric guitar guy? Like, what's
Yeah.
gonna happen with
I don't.
Like, why?
I do love his trailers for the fact that you watch it and you're like, it looked cool, but what the hell did I just see?
Yeah. You have
It's
no
gonna be.
idea what's
It's
gonna
gonna be the second Strand like game.
Second
Yeah.
Strand like game.
So it's not really breaking new ground now.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Have there been other Strand likes? I don't think so. Right?
That's why I'm saying
Is
it's
there-
the second one only.
Is there?
That's it.
fuck-
There's no other strand.
He's
like
just gonna
games.
keep making them, and he's gonna keep saying like, "Look at the
Yeah.
genre I've made."
Apparently,
Yeah.
he's making a new tactical espionage game. It's not Metal Gear, but he's making a new one. He's also making a horror game with Jordan Peele and a
Right.
movie.
A movie, yeah.
I remember that.
That's
Yeah,
what
This
I-
is like the man's popping off.
Yeah, that's cool. I feel like he really needs to make a movie.
Yeah, it's
been-
about
he's been putting
time.
it off for too long.
He has.
Because his games are suffering for it. Like, please, no more 90-minute cutscenes. Just
Yeah, 4 was like so much fan service, but
yeah,
there would be cutscenes, Curtis, that are like an hour and a half long.
yeah.
Yeah, I know
Literal
Simran
90-minute cutscenes.
complains that Last of Us is a movie, but like
Yeah,
you guys talk about Metal Gear.
Multiple
No,
movies, yeah.
Metal Gear Solid 4
It's
is a movie.
yeah.
It's a movie. It's a marathon.
Last of Us is a playable movie.
Yeah.
You know what? I think Simran is just confusing a single player narrative game with like actually watching something. Because like
Maybe.
when you
Yeah.
play God of War, it's like seamless into the like cutscenes, but you keep playing.
Yeah.
I wouldn't consider it a movie, but it plays like a movie because it's set up with a plot, a beginning. You're
Yeah.
playing a movie. You know what?
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
right. I've come full circle.
But I think that's something I've talked about
Yeah.
before. But like only video games can do that and have such respect for that. Like
Yeah.
it's, it really is its
Agency.
own medium in that sense.
Yeah.
Because you can't like in a book you can be like first person. I walked to the door, but it's like it's written there regardless. Like that, there's no
Yeah.
you're not. It's not really you. But in the
there's
game,
no
you're,
strands.
there's no strands. No, there's no strands. But in a game, you're literally the one. Like you ever, I'm sure we all do this. Like when there's, I don't know. There's okay. When I first got to the like sector whatever where Tifa guys live in Final Fantasy.
Yeah.
And then Clouds, you got to walk home or walk to find Tifa at the bar or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
You could just run there like a normal gamer and just run there. But I was like, I walked like I was in the. It's like a Final Fantasy VII movie. I walked there and then the TV was playing and I stopped.
Yeah,
and, watched
the
TV with the crowd.
Yeah.
And then I acted. You ever do that in games?
Yeah,
where you
yeah,
act
yeah.
it out, right?
Yeah,
Like,
That's why
kinda.
Grand Theft Auto is my favorite. It's like it has
Yeah.
that like the Cat Williams routine in it,
Exactly.
and like the radio.
Yeah.
Mm.
It's like all that stuff. Is
It's like
huge.
you're getting to choose to do that.
Yeah,
Yes.
you're choosing.
That's the
Right.
true open world to me.
There's
Yeah.
one like in Red Dead 2. This isn't, you don't get to choose this one, but it plays out kind of like that.
Mhm.
But there's this part where I don't want to spoil
But
this.
you want- but
your
you're in
character's
sync
really
with-
hurt, and he got like shot up with like a bunch of
Yeah.
he got like morphine, and he's like tripping out. But it's just him walking through the streets and like his interactions,
Yeah.
and it's super powerful for that. But
Mhm.
sorry, I
No, I was like it's because Bobby's talking about open world. That's
yeah,
one
yeah,
thing.
yeah.
But it's all. I mean, it can be both at the same. They're
Yeah.
not mutually exclusive. But when their intention is to make you feel a certain way and
Mhm.
want you to play that character in a certain way, I'm thinking
Yeah.
about Last of Us.
Yeah.
Like the last
Yeah.
the last
Role-playing.
part of The Last of Us, where like apparently you don't really have a choice of what you're gonna do if you guys played The Last of Us.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
you're gonna like because you've played as Joel for the entire game.
Yeah.
Like they've
You
made
execute.
you. Yeah, you've done
They make you want to be that
exactly,
position.
and I feel like that's so.
That's powerful in that way.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
But I get what you mean. Like in between these story beats, you have some agency of walking around, and you're just gonna like take it slow and act like you're in that world.
Yeah,
Um,
but it's like only a good game would make me do that.
True.
Usually,
Yeah.
Yeah.
The world needs to be flushed out, and I think that is what Remake did a good job of. Like,
Mm.
because the first disc is this first game,
Mhm.
and you're only in one city the entire game, so it's like it's good that like they were able to make sure every corner was kind of accounted for in that game and make it interesting.
I do like.
But,
I know this was in the first one, but maybe not as fleshed out. But I
Yeah.
do like the conflict that they bring up with the trying to save the planet, but also there's people that like live and thrive off of the corporations. That,
Totally, yeah.
You know, like that. That is a conflict. That obviously mirrors our world,
Yeah.
and stuff too, where it's not just one-sided. It's not just like, oh, they're fucking up the planet.
Yeah,
But like, no, there's people on both sides where it's like, no, people have to like make a living
and they
live.
still have to use the things that are fucking up the planet.
Yeah, yeah. I like
Unfortunately.
how they brought because I noticed they put that like right
Yeah.
after you blow up the thing.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, are we terrorists and stuff? And then you go to the train and people are talking.
Yeah,
like,
this
"Oh,
one
terrorists and
really
stuff."
like
Yeah.
so they really hit them over the head with that they are considered terrorists, or like it's kind of
Mhm.
realistic how the company would portray them, because to them they're like, we're saving the planet, but
Mhm.
on the outside it's like they just blew up a reactor
Yeah.
and like they're living in this city controlled by this company,
And there's,
so
like,
they're gonna be
people,
like,
all
yeah,
injured and stuff.
Yeah.
In the buildings.
and they're gonna be like, yeah, these are terrorists, they're terrible people, and it's like, yeah, it's kind of like it would be kind of a gray area in a
Mhm,
way,
mhm,
whereas the
mhm.
original games is just like they blow it up and they're the heroes, and like they're
Oh,
called.
Is it actually?
Well, they're called terrorists. Or Avalanche is called a terrorist organization.
but,
But
they obviously don't get to go.
but in
into
this
it.
one, you see how they portray it in the media
Mhm.
more and stuff. So it's cool in that way.
Yeah. No, I like.
We went
that.
back to Final Fantasy
That's
after
okay.
talking about shit, but
Do you think the remake is worth it if you never played the original Final Fantasy?
I
That's the
would
whole point.
I would
The whole
say
point?
so.
Okay.
Yeah, make it
Alright.
accessible. And it's a fun game.
It's
I
not
think
just
you'll-
fan service.
yeah.
It's not just like
No, well, there is fan service, but like
Have you been reading anything about it, Bobby?
No,
you don't have to. You
I mean, I
don't-
read a little bit, but like
It's like the best. It's one of. It's isn't it considered like one of the best remakes ever made of games?
Yeah,
Wait,
yeah,
really?
yes.
Yeah,
I've, been hearing
dude.
I've just been hearing criticisms of the
well-
of the remake, Final Fantasy VII remake.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
It's
Remake.
considered like one of the best remakes ever done.
Rebirth
Oh,
is
shit.
like
Yeah.
more so now consider that, but yeah.
The first one I saw, I read some maybe
Well,
okay.
Here's
know,
the
a
thing:
lot of-
they nailed the original story beats perfectly, but they added this like ghost thing.
It's
I
not
talked
a
about.
perfect game.
okay.
That's
yeah,
not.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
not a perfect
No.
game.
But yeah,
But in
it's-
terms of as far as remakes go, like this is what because like Final Fantasy VII is obviously legendary.
Yes,
Everybody
yes, yes.
is
it's very
uh,
dated
yeah.
graphics.
everybody. Yeah,
Sin.
but because of how many people love Seven,
Yeah.
obviously everyone's gonna be like they're gonna fuck it up. It's gonna
Yeah.
be they're gonna
Yeah, yeah,
man,
yeah.
it's gonna be bad.
Yeah.
And then it came out and they're like It's actually pretty good. Like,
Like,
it's
they-
actually like really good. Like,
They,
I think it's 9s across the board. At
Yeah,
least
yeah.
8, minimum 8, but probably 9s across the board.
Okay, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been like honestly, I think like with me, like when I think about it, I just think about Cloud and Super Smash Brothers, and I'm like, fuck that guy. And then I just like a bunch of other like mechanics. Like I read that it
Yeah.
like, kind of is inspired by 12 and this and that, and I haven't like read a complete enthusiastic like this is so sick review. But
Yeah.
I haven't also investigated it super thoroughly.
Fair,
but I'm gonna
yeah.
play it. I love it. I'll probably wait for the box set.
I thought, yeah, it was right.
Maybe
Like
I'll-
pretty,
it's
pretty.
three-
It's pretty
critically-
well received.
Yeah.
Yeah, like critically.
Surprisingly,
It's
But
three
like
games,
everybody has pretty similar complaints. So.
if you pre-order, I mean, it's out now.
I've
so
seen
it's
it
out.
less
but
with
you would have got the
Rebirth.
first one free if you got the second one.
Oh shit.
Or something.
I-
What was it?
Rebirth has been like pretty. Like I don't see many complaints about that.
Yeah,
one.
they're like everything about Rebirth is amazing except that moment that we. Talked
Yeah,
about
see,
and
like I
complained
didn't
about
even see
already.
that online until you told me. So
Yeah.
like, yeah,
Yeah, but yeah, exactly.
Um,
Most people are like it's amazing.
yeah.
It's the best because and it's more open worldy and stuff.
Yeah, and people say
like,
there's filler, but they're like, "This is good filler." So I was like, "Okay."
because that open world in the desert and stuff, all that
Yeah, yeah.
stuff looks so
Well,
fucking
yeah, it does
cool,
look cool.
man.
What's the third game gonna be called?
We don't know, so it's gonna have to be an R word.
Yeah. Okay.
Remake.
A remake.
What is it? Remake,
Revengeance.
rebirth. Yeah, revenge.
Yeah, Raiden comes in.
Return.
Beats up Cloud.
Redo.
Yeah.
Can we redo that last part?
Yeah.
Fucked up.
Yeah, that's funny. What else do we have in the notes?
Dune 2.
Well, I have movies and stuff. We could go over that.
Talk to
or
me.
we could
You
go-
wrote that in.
Yeah, because you watched it, I watched
Yeah,
it.
that's true.
Or we can go into my like more games like era stuff. I don't know what you guys want to talk about. Like, you know, best SNES era game or like you want to
I'm
talk about
down.
that stuff?
I'm feeling that.
You want to do that? Okay.
I feel like everyone's talked Dune 2 to death.
Yeah.
No, maybe.
I'm
Not
gonna
on
take
the-
my
not
sweater
on
on
this
this-
podcast.
Who the fuck's on this pocket? No.
Okay, so because that's where my gaming kind of began was the SNES, I think. Because
Yeah.
I had an SNES, and then weirdly, at my grandma's house we still had an Atari, and that was I think those were my first gaming. I never had an NES though.
I had an NES and an Atari. I never had a Super Nintendo till like later in life.
I think I had both. I just remember Mario. I just remember like 8-bit Mario and then like Super Mario and being
Yeah,
like, wow.
Super Mario World, which I guess is 4.
Yeah, I didn't
It's 4,
experience
right?
that early
And then
on.
Super Mario 64 blew
Super
my fucking
Mario
head off.
World, which is 4. That one was like I think that's one of my first gaming experiences ever. Like it's so good. Like I replayed the first couple levels to get more lives because you can like cheese it if you just want to keep playing and
Yeah.
get the lives.
Yeah.
And I would do that so many times, and then
World's good.
I don't know if I ever beat it as a child though, like because it got
There's
really hard.
a way to go like 110% on that game.
110 because you
Damn.
go to the secret.
Yeah, there's like some
Star
secret
thing or
extra.
whatever.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
And
And then I remember going to Rogers Video and renting SNES games.
yeah, that was our Blockbuster in Canada.
Yeah, well, or Blockbuster too. We go to Blockbuster as well.
Yeah, we had
most
some
of the time Rogers.
Blockbusters. Yeah.
And then there was one. I feel like this might have inspired Luigi's Mansion a little bit, but it was called Mario's Missing. I don't know if you guys
What?
ever heard about that. game.
No.
So it's you're Luigi looking for Mario, and it's like a detective-y kind of game.
I've never heard of this
Yeah,
game.
it's
How
called
is this
Mario's
possible?
Missing.
What?
Never heard of this. Yeah.
Yeah, SNES. There's a lot of there was also a Yoshi like cookie like a Candy Crush kind of game, but it was like Yoshi's Cookies or something, and you match the same Candy
Oh,
Crush
like
kind of.
Bejeweled kind of.
Yeah, like that kind of thing. But it's like Yoshi Cookies. That was kind of cool. What other SNES games? did I have?
Yoshi Cookies. You're naming some deep cut Mario things I never
that people
I've
never heard of.
never heard of.
Mario's Missing. I remember that.
I'm honestly surprised because I what
thought you would have heard of those.
Mario's Missing.
Go look it up.
The fuck
Should I
is this?
find the
You
thing
just
right
like go to ChatGPT and like give me some slightly believable Mario names that are real.
I'm googling it right now. Let's see. Yeah, see, look. It's the cover.
Oh, I think
and
I've
then
seen this cover.
Luigi's got
I
a
thought this was like a
lantern, he's
meme. I
looking
think.
through
when
his-
I-
Yeah, I know it's a real game. It's totally a real game.
What the
Well,
hell?
And I
makes
remember
the Haunted
I was too
Mansion
young
make
to like
more
read
sense.
properly, so I was playing it with my mom, and my mom was trying to like play. I remember playing a lot of video games with my mom. My mom was cool.
My mom and
Mortal
I.
Kombat, but that was the other one.
My
I
mom
a lot
played
of.
Mario Brothers 3 with us. I remember back in the day
3's the one with the
with the Tanuki
The
suit.
Tanuki,
Yeah,
yeah.
that was my favorite Mario, like 2D back in the day.
I didn't play that one enough.
Damn, dude.
Because I had the All Stars that had that in it. I think.
Oh yeah.
But yeah.
I didn't have a Super Nintendo. I had a Sega Genesis,
Oh yeah.
and then we got a Sega Saturn, which was like a dumb choice. Honestly, I don't know why my family got that. But
Was there any games on there that you liked though?
I remember playing Sonic 3D Blast. In fact, I'm looking at it right now. I have
He
it
still has
still.
it.
They had Clockwork Knight. They had that Dreams game. I don't know if you remember. It was like a girl with like a purple kind of jester outfit that would go through like
Oh.
rings.
Actually, I think I do.
Yeah, I think that originated on Saturn.
Jesus.
But yeah, Saturn was a failed system. I didn't even get a Dreamcast, which was would have been cool.
Yeah.
'Cause that was a
Dreamcast
cool-
is a cool film.
That was a system ahead of its time.
I had it. I got it way later.
Yeah.
When it was like done.
I'd be down to get one now.
yeah.
Yeah.
There must be so much more expensive now.
Oh,
Like, they're
must
probably
be.
collector's
Yeah.
items.
N64 was a dope. Like
Yeah.
like Mario 64 blew my mind. Ocarina of Time.
Yeah.
Majora's Mask.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well. Okay. But do we want to go favorite SNES era
Yeah.
game? Because I'm probably just gonna say Super Mario World, which is such an easy pick. But
You're not gonna say
Yeah.
Mario is missing?
no, I'm gonna
What-
say Balls. I brought that up in the first.
Oh
podcast.
yeah, I remember
That one?
Balls.
I should play a clip, but it's also inappropriate. But also, who cares?
For me, Super Mario Brothers for me, man. Just Super Mario is legit.
Like,
What-
It's like, still-
like
like
the
the-
NES?
yeah, Super NES.
Oh, Super NES? Like
Wasn't-
which
yes,
one?
it was
Which,
just
like there's
Super
Super
Mario
Mario
World.
No, which one? What do you mean?
Oh, the one with the yellow cape and the Yoshi on the front. Is
That's the one I'm talking about.
Yeah,
That's
Super
World.
Mario
That's Super
World.
Mario World.
Yeah.
Oh my god, yeah,
Yeah,
Super Mario
that's
World.
World.
Then sorry.
That's Luigi is missing, and
yeah.
that's what it's called in Japan. Earthbound.
Nice. Yeah.
That's the best Super Nintendo game.
Mhm.
I love Earthbound.
There's no other consoles in that era that compete.
Well, Sega
Yeah, but
What?
I mean like games that you would put in your top, like 1 or 2.
for Super Nintendo or just
Era.
of that era. Fuck,
that
dude.
generation.
I love Sega. Like I was kind of a Sega kid for a bit. Like we had like Samurai Showdown. That was a sick
Mm.
game. I mean, the original like Sonic 3. Used to get like there was a Sonic and Knuckles cartridge, and then you put Sonic 3 into that cartridge, and then you could play as Knuckles in Sonic 3. That like blew my mind back in the day, but like
That's
it's
pretty
so
crazy.
much effort
That's
to play as
crazy.
Knuckles.
Nuxception.
Nuxception. That was pretty sick. Like Sonic 3 was fucking dope, and Sonic 2.
People are so obsessed with Sonic. It's like
It-
Sonic is
it's
like
like scary niches.
Yeah. Yeah, it's one of those like obsessive things.
It's funny. You can type in your name into like DeviantArt or like Google and be like, put your name in the hedgehog, and it'll likely come up with some version of a hedgehog someone's made. I can guarantee there's a Zach the Hedgehog or like Curtis the Hedgehog.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Slash fiction ahoy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Should we move on to
It's Rule
64?
34. Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are we at time wise? Should we close off on this for?
We are.
Yeah, we're at 54 minutes.
Okay. Yeah. Well, we'll wrap it up soon.
All right, sick.
And we're doing N64 era.
I'm gonna
Era.
I'm gonna say so. Obviously, Mario 64 is fucking such a good game,
Yeah.
but
No, it's
also,
pretty janky.
I'm gonna say Perfect Dark. Yeah. pretty janky. A lot
Oh,
of bugs. No, but Perfect Dark. Me and my dad played the fuck out of Perfect Dark. I know there's the Golden Eye and then there's the Perfect Dark. I'm Perfect Dark.
I played only a little bit of Perfect Dark back in the day.
It's so good.
It is.
It's so good.
GoldenEye-
There's like aliens and conspiracy stuff. And
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
it's really good, man. I don't know.
GoldenEye aged like doo doo.
Yeah.
That's what people have said, or at least that's what you've said a bunch of times. I don't know if that's people, but you've said that a bunch.
Like
of
trying
times.
to aim is just awful.
I
Oh,
never
it's still
played
bad
that
in
game that
Perfect
much.
Dark.
I never liked it. I never enjoyed
Yeah,
it so
yeah.
much, but I,
I
played
like
it a
playing
lot.
as Odd Job. I remember that and like throwing the hat. But like, okay, favorite N64 game.
You ever played Glover?
That's an awful game too.
I thought it was kind of
Um,
good when I was a kid, but I'm like, this is so hard.
Yeah,
This
it
is
was
really
tough.
fucking hard.
Superman 64.
Oh yeah,
Oh, yeah.
It was just
every time you
that,
turn,
that was a
time
broken
you turn,
game.
you do this.
StarCraft 64.
No, but it was fun.
Yeah.
Oh, Spider-Man 64 or what? I don't know. What
now we're
it's
talking
called.
about the worst of this.
But no, but
generation.
Spider-Man on N64 was actually really
that
fun.
one's not bad, but
That one
Superman
wasn't
was pretty bad.
No, it was bad. It was bad. I agree.
I mean, I
Oh,
love.
Star Fox.
You can't really.
Star Fox was so
Oh,
sucky.
Star Fox
Yeah,
64.
Star Fox 64 was
I think
pretty
Star
great.
Fox 64 was the first game that I actually beat, and I'm like, oh my god,
Yeah.
because I don't know, I was never really good at beating.
No,
games.
that game was dope. It
I
was a
actually
really
beat
good
that game.
multiplayer game too.
Yeah. Mario
Ocarina
Kart.
of Time and Majora's
Smash
Mask to
Bros.
me
Yeah.
are like Smash Bros. The first
Smash
one.
Bros. Yeah, Smash Bros.
I love Smash
You know, for
Bros.
significance and for me, Smash Bros. Probably my pick.
Yeah,
Smash
yeah.
Bros., yeah.
I'm
You
gonna
know
say
what?
Majora's Mask for me,
Oh,
but
yeah, that's true.
also
Yeah,
like
Majora's Mask,
Mario
yeah.
Kart 64 is great too. Like,
But
Diddy Kong Racing,
Mario Party.
What was I
Yeah.
gonna say
Mario
about,
Party.
I
yeah.
actually had a good time with Donkey Kong 64. I thought the donkey rap was
Yeah.
great.
Oh.
I have poor taste, and I'm proud of it.
No, I like Donkey Kong 64.
Despite the reviews, I think almost all kids really enjoyed Pokemon Stadium.
Yeah.
Oh, I
enjoyed
love
Stadium.
Pokemon Stadium.
'Cause
And they
I
had those
guess
like extra mini games.
Everybody loves the mini.
like I remember in Ekans like ring
Yeah.
toss
the
thing.
mini games are the best part. I remember like the food one with the Lickitung.
Yes,
When you
that's
get
right.
all the
There's
food.
like a sushi or there's like wasabi ones, right?
Yeah,
yeah,
you can't
yeah.
eat the wasabi ones. And
Yeah.
then
That's
there's
dope.
the spinning one with the spinning fighting dude where you got it's like
Hit
Beyblades.
Hitmonlee.
Yeah, yeah. Well, no, it was the one that I forgot what the spinning
Him on
guys.
top.
Was it Hitmontop? Yeah.
I feel like that was still
because it's Hitmonchan, Hitmonlee, Hitmontop, I guess.
Yeah.
Right? Is that right? Yeah.
I just like the 3D part of it. I love 3D Pokemon.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, like, the thing is, when it came out and I just saw 3D Pokemon, like, the trailer, I thought it was gonna be, like
Like a regular Pokemon.
regular
game.
Pokemon, but in 3D, but it wasn't, so that was a little disappointing.
Yeah, that disappointed a lot of people.
Yeah, but
Including
the fact,
me.
Yeah, but the fact that you could play 3D Pokemon just as a game, regardless, like fighting
Yeah.
and stuff like that, I still loved it. And obviously, everybody loves the mini games. But
Yeah.
Yeah,
I played.
man.
Did you guys play Hey You Pikachu, or is that what it's called?
No.
The one with the
I did.
the mic. Yeah, right.
I didn't own it. My friend owned it, but honestly, I remember it being shit. Not the game was shit. It just didn't pick up as much as you'd think it would.
Yeah, I actually really enjoy. I don't remember if it was a good game or
Yeah.
not. Like,
If
the
you don't
objective
like,
part
maybe
of
you're
me.
too young for Hey You Pikachu, but it came with this peripheral on
Yeah.
your controller that was a microphone, and
Yeah,
you had to
you
talk
attach
to
a
Pikachu.
microphone. Yeah, it was
Yeah.
sick. I don't know. As a kid, I loved it. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't hindsight. If I played it now, I might be like, "This is a terrible."
Pokemon Snap.
Pokemon Snap. I was about
Oh,
to say
Pokemon
Pokemon
Snap,
Snap.
so
yeah.
good. Oh, I love.
I don't know
Pokemon
why
Snap.
they made when they made the newer Pokemon Snap, they called it the new Pokemon Snap. But I was like, what happens when you make the next Pokemon Snap?
Yeah.
Like, why didn't you just go
No, that's the old
Pokemon
one.
Snap Switch or something? Like, why put new in front of it? Because then the next one is gonna be newer. Or like,
the newest.
just say Pokemon Snap 2. Like,
I liked Kirby 64 and the Crystal Shards.
I
oh
played that
yeah,
one too.
that was a good
I
one.
was a
enjoyed
good
them.
one.
Combining the powers was sick.
And 64 had a lot of bangers.
Yeah, that was.
Yeah.
A
I
great
also
party.
was a super big PlayStation kid during that era, though, too.
I did not have one. My uncle had one. It was
Yeah.
that exotic. Someone else had
Yeah.
it system.
I only played Abe's Odyssey.
Twisted
I remember.
Metal, Final Fantasy 7, Street Fighter, Alpha 3.
I only really got to play, like,
Parappa the Rapper.
Yeah.
A bit of Crash Bandicoot. Oh, and Spyro.
Crash. I played a lot of Crash and Spyro. I beat the shit out of
Spyro,
those.
yeah.
Yeah.
Spyro was fun.
Spyro was fun.
I have the
Um,
entire Spyro trilogy in my Steam library.
Like the new remakes.
Yeah, the remakes, yeah.
I've been meaning to look at those.
Yeah.
Eh.
I'm like, like
I know
that's-
you. It's like one of those things you get out of nostalgia, and you're like, I do want to play it, and then you're like, do I really want
Yeah.
to play this
It's like that's
platform I played when I was like 8?
I will say this about digital games. It's really the nice thing about them is they don't collect dust.
Yes, that is true.
There's no actual dust that you
That
have
is
to
true.
wipe off of things. So it just it's there. It's great.
Yeah. Earthbound 3 was supposed to be, or Mother 3 was actually supposed. They developed it for the N64 at first,
Mm.
and they ended up scrapping it and making it a Game Boy Advance game. But do we want to get into that era? Or should we cap it at the
It's capping
N64
for next
era?
time for the part 2.
Yeah, you'll find out the PS2 era.
The PS2 deserves its own episode. The PS2 is
It does.
is just the system that
It's
handles
gonna.
systems.
I'm talking Metal Gear Solid 3.
I'm
I'm talking Shadow of the Colossus.
the original God of War.
Original God of War.
Talking about that random Inuyasha game they made. That
I'm
was a
talking
fighting
about
game.
GTA Vice City,
I'm
GTA
talking about
San Andreas.
Onimusha, Dawn of Dreams,
Zone of Enders.
Okami.
Yeah.
Art games for the win.
Resident Evil 4.
Oh, good shit.
I mostly just
NBA
played. Now that I
Street
think about it, I
Volume
just
2.
played a lot of anime games.
Yeah,
I played like Gundam Seed.
I had so many like what do you call it, Naruto fighting games
Oh, did you on
Yeah.
PS2?
on GameCube and PS2.
It's funny that era. Like I guess like Simran and all our friends got GameCubes,
Yeah,
and then Achilles was the only one that got an Xbox. And then they were like, "Why did you get a GameCube? Or no, why'd you get an Xbox when like
yeah.
you know what I mean?" But
Why
was just
did
funny
he get an
because
Xbox?
GameCube was, I guess, historically the
Yeah.
weakest.
That's
one.
true, and like your friends were shaming him for getting
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
one of the most popular ones.
Yeah, the Xbox and stuff. but-
GameCube was.
I think
a fun
PS2
one.
was like one of the highest selling consoles ever, though. So I think it won that generation. But
Yeah.
I can tell that same story that I always do, where I specifically remember it wasn't me that wanted it. It was my mom and my sister wanted it because of DVD,
Yeah.
and it was like
Oh.
$700 back
For-
then.
Yeah.
for PS2,
Yeah,
oh yeah, they were smart. Like early on, like adopting like.
but
just,
then
like-
remember they had that
DVD,
what is it,
Blu-ray.
with HD, whatever versus Blu-ray.
Oh god.
oh
HD
yes,
DVD.
HD
Yeah.
DVD. Yeah.
Yeah.
They tried
I,
that.
Inconsequential physical media war.
yeah, right.
Like Blu-ray mattered for like 4 years and then it didn't.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I mean Blu-ray is still around though. That's the thing.
Oh yeah, but you know,
It won that war.
it's for
but-
AV nerds.
But nobody buys discs. That
No,
much.
Yeah.
no,
But-
not anymore.
It's gonna happen to games, physical games.
I.
Gotta just go
That's
away
why
and
the
do it.
physical game market is broken. Well, it's a lot better than what it was like a couple years ago. But
Collecting is.
well, if you want to collect, if you're selling, it's great, or it was great back then. But
We should make this a series. We should do installments. We should do like
Yeah.
PS2, GameCube era, and then like
Yeah, I'm
a
down.
couple more, and then at the end of it will just be digital games and
yeah,
the digitization of our lives.
and then we'll just be heads in jars talking about our favorite games
Yeah.
from pre-internet days.
Futurama, Richard Nixon.
Yeah.
It's gonna be my.
Okay, so Zach had a good idea. We should call this Easy XP.
Let's do it.
Are we down with that?
Down for easy XP.
Easy. Okay.
This was your idea.
Oh, is that just we're just gonna settle on that? No, I'm just kidding. Yeah.
The only farming.
It
I'm
just
doing.
seemed like the easiest title to call it.
And the XPist.
You are the XPist.
Hey,
Hey, check out our charity. Scraping a little bit off the top. We're gonna be upfront about it though. Okay.
So where can they find you, Zach?
Oh yeah, check out
YGML.
YGML, Your Games, My Lord. We got
TikTok,
different series now. We got
YouTube.
podcasts, YouTube, TikTok mainly. We should have started Instagram at some point.
And then where can they find you, Bobby?
I am Bob in the Comic on
Yeah.
Facebook and Instagram and
That's
TikTok.
right. If
He
you're in the
also-
Vancouver area, go watch him perform.
Yeah, you can also beg him for a spot at his open mic. No, not open mic. At your shows that he runs, maybe potentially in the future.
Potentially in the future, I
Maybe.
am.
We'll talk more about that.
If
I
you-
am the mafia lord of the Vancouver
Yeah.
comedy scene.
He takes
Yes,
a variety
it comes
of
through me,
payments.
or
Yeah.
it doesn't come at all.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then I'm just Kurt. Am I Kurt,
Kurt-
underscore DC or am I just?
I think you're Kurt
DC?
DC.
DC.
I don't know what account you're talking
Am I
about
Kurt-
though.
Like Instagram. Am I Kurt underscore
Look up
DC or am I
Curtis.
Kurt DC?
Kurt.
I'm
Look
one
up,
of the two.
look
on
up Kurt
Instagram.
DC on social
Instagram,
media.
TikTok, YouTube.
As seen on
Yeah.
Gary V.
As seen on Gary V.
That's
yeah,
right.
I was on with Gary Vee.
High
for
profile
one episode.
guys.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks for watching. Oh, I forgot to do this theme song
Theme song.
right before the end. Okay. Thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching, everybody. Like and subscribe.
Yeah.
Hope the audio's better this time.
And
Yeah.
we'll see you
Working on it.
episode 3.